Today we'll take up the subject of dreams, on which Mother addressed the meeting in the years when she was in Paris before she came to India. Speaking of sleep, she points out that more than 1/3 of our life is spent in sleep. Now, what is it that sleeps? We say we sleep. Actually, it is only the physical body that sleeps. In a manner of speaking, the physical alone goes to sleep. The rest of the faculties, the mind, the senses, subtler senses, they go on with their activity, actually with more freedom, because the compulsions of the waking consciousness are not there. So the mind, the imagination of the mind, the desires of the vital, the pulse of the physical, they all get mixed together, pell-mell, and the state goes on. Only the most external body sleeps, but the activity goes on. That is why when we wake up at times in the mornings, we don't feel fresh. We feel a fatigue. And there is tension. Supposing you get up in the middle, you feel at times there is a tension. And thank God I opened my eyes. There are people who say that they don't dream. They say we get very sound sleep, we don't dream at all. But it is not really that. To sleep without dreams is an achievement which can normally come only by yogic concentration and process. What happens with many of the people who say that they don't dream is that they go so much in the subconscious that when they come out, there is no connecting link between the subconscious and their waking state. Of course, it is also possible that if you go to the superconscious, state of trance, state of higher consciousness, equally there is no bridge. But 90% or 95% of people, they don't go to the superconscious, they go to the subconscious and even below. And there is no link between the waking state and the dream. So when they wake up, they find it is blank and they say we don't dream. But it is not so. Dreams, they are there. And there are types of dreams. There are first mechanical dreams. That is, you meet so many people, you read papers, you think so many things, you read, you write, you eat. Now all these activities leave an impression in your, register themselves in your consciousness. And when you go to bed, all of them get mixed up and come up, there is a kind of riot of all these contacts, touches, feelings. They have no meaning. They are reflexes of what has happened in the day or near about the day. There is no special meaning in them. It is also possible that these dreams, mechanical dreams which have no significance, they are also results of certain contacts, physical impacts in the atmosphere. One may be sleeping, but there may be sudden heat, there may be sudden cold, there may be sudden shouting, there may be some indigestion or stomach disorder, and accordingly the dreams will be chaotic. Each such physical disorder, irregular movement, reflects itself in the state of the dream. Supposing a person has constipation, or there is suppressed, some disorder with the kidney, that person is likely to find himself in or near a toilet. That room may be locked, he may not be available, but there is a tension. So these dreams you can always trace, if you look back, to some contact, to some touch, to some line that you have read during the day, or to some action in the atmosphere when you are asleep. Naturally, these dreams, which are caused by the physical environment, have no special meaning. Then there are what may be called erratic dreams. You meet somebody and there is some interchange, the person goes and you forget about it. Now in that event, which you have forgotten, which you have dismissed, can reproduce itself again in some form in the dream, because the consciousness has not completely taken leave of the subject. These are what are called erratic dreams. Tomorrow you won't have it. No other time will it be repeated. Once it expresses itself, that's the finish, that is over. And then, erratic dreams based on passing events. Some dreams testify to continuation of consciousness. That is, I am doing something and I come up against a problem. Mathematics, a mathematician, he comes up with a problem, he works at night, and then he postpones, let us see tomorrow, and he leaves it there. At times it happens that the solution is ready in the morning when he gets up. Similarly, a poet, he comes to a block and he postpones, and next morning when he gets, the lines are ready. That is because the consciousness or the particular faculty goes on working without interference by the external mind and achieves what it wants. These are rare, but they are facts. Then there are what are called revealing dreams. Many types. I was reading about a European woman teacher who died about 10 years ago, who was teaching yoga, and she was a consultant. When she was a girl of about 3 years old, she used to have repeated nightmares. That is, she would find a lion pursuing her. The girl would run and run, but before she could reach her mother, the lion's paw would strike on her head, a blow. It would happen every now and then. Each time she would wake up full of terror and would run to her parents' room and get into the blanket of her mother. And the mother would ask, "Oh, the lion again, and would comfort her. She never understood why. Years later, when she grew up, in a series of psychic experiences, one of her past lives, 3,000 years ago in Egypt, was revealed to her in a kind of a panoramic scenes. And there she discovered that she was then a queen, and at that age, in that era, instead of horses, there were no horses in Egypt during those days. Lions, animal lions, they were pulling the chariot to the kings, and she was used to drive the chariot, control the lions. Somehow, we don't need to enter into the story. Due to some misfortune, the woman was one day mauled by a lion, and the paw killed her. That incident happened 3,000 years ago, at least. And in this 20th century, for a girl of 3, that would repeat itself. It means it had produced such an impact, such a powerful impression, that it pursued her. Her causal body carried that impress. In an unmistakable manner. So there are such dreams which reveal something of our lives, something of the past, but not all are revelatory. Many are products of romantic imagination, of what we read. But real revelatory dreams, they throw light on your life, either the present one or past. It can go to any layer of the past. There are, for persons who do yoga, for instance, we have what are called symbolic dreams. Many of you must have experienced. The examination is today at 11 o'clock. And I am not ready. This is a dream which many have got. Bus comes and you have not yet packed. Your things are not ready. Somebody calling for an interview and you are not dressed. All these, train is come. You fail to make the train. You just miss it. By the time you step on the platform, the train has gone. How do you explain these things? Actually, it means, particularly for those who lead a spiritual life, the moment has come and you are not ready. Something comes for you, but you are not ready. It does not mean that the moment won't come again, but it is a warning that you have to do more homework. These dreams, for each person according to the background of his life. Then there is some people find their teeth come out. A fairly common dream. They are naturally nervous, and the first thing they do when they wake up is to see if the teeth are all right. Now, the falling of the teeth in dream indicates falling of certain physical habits, samskaras as we call them. It is a thing good that something has fallen off. What was sticking to us has gone. Similarly, death of your father. Father may be dead 20 years ago, but you suddenly feel your father is dead. Mother said, it is a good thing. It means something of the physical obstinate habit has gone. Hereditary or something tenacious habit has gone. So we must have, each individual has his own background against which the explanation has to be found. These are symbolic, revelatory dreams. For some, once the body is there on the physical plane, the subtle body, the vital particularly, goes up and it moves in the vital world, the subtler worlds. And you find yourself flying, you fly. How do you fly? I don't know anything during the daytime. That is, the vital body, it is normal for it to fly. And you find yourself flying through the walls, flying across long distances. That is the vital body journeying. And you see things happening. Now, when you see things happening, one has to observe. But they may look like premonitory dreams. Something happening and you are inclined to believe that is going to happen. It may happen. It may not happen. What really happens, that every event before it takes place on earth, on the physical plane, is first worked out on the subtler plane, subtle physical plane or vital plane. And there, if you see them, things, they are being worked out. Now, in the process of transition from that plane to here, things may change. Other possibilities may come. Other interferences may come. And nothing may happen. So, what you see there is what is happening there. It may precipitate itself exactly like that tomorrow or the day after or in the near future. Something quite different may happen. So, you have to watch it, keep it in mind, take precautions if necessary, but you can't be always sure that what you have seen is going to happen. In India, there is a strong tradition that dreams that occur pre-dawn, in the early hours of the morning, usually come true. Possibly because you are in the border of the waking state, and things must have arrived at that state, the waking condition. But not always. One needs a certain tact to discriminate. But one has to be attentive. There are certain dreams which go on repeating themselves. They are not to be bothered about. Like a gramophone disc, some strong experience or happening leaves an impact on the consciousness. And every time there is an opportunity, it repeats itself. It has no meaning. They are called physical, mechanical dreams. The same scene repeating itself, the same experience always repeating itself. They are mechanical reproductions. There is also another type of dream, that what we work for, what we want, what we pray for, what we hope for, we see it realized there. So, it can be just a result of a strong meditation or a sanction of grace, as a sign of sanction. Then there are higher type of dreams where you go on a still higher plane than the vital plane. And you are exposed to the contacts of higher beings. Some great beings, higher beings, you come before them, they come to you or they pass by you, and they say a word or two, whatever. And you feel very happy. When you get up, you feel something great has happened. Some of the great seekers have even received initiation in such a dream state. They received the word, they received the mantra in dream state. And that it is not just a casual encounter, but something important is evidenced by the next day's happenings. The effect of a dream always testifies to the nature of a dream. If when you get up in the morning, you feel happy, you feel elevated, you feel a kind of happy joy, then it is a good dream. But if you feel anxious, apprehensive, if you feel nervous, it is not a good thing. So just as you encounter benevolent beings, gracious beings, you can also come to face with evil beings on the vital plane. And those evil beings can play havoc if we team up with them. Always, even there, something warns. But if out of ambition, out of temptation, we yield to them, they exercise a very deleterious influence on our lives. And Sri Aurobindo mentions how it is the Savior name that guards, that protects. Both Ashwapati and Savitri, in their inner journeys, when they were face to face with disaster, catastrophe, they had the Savior name on their lips. For us, the Savior name is of the mother, naturally. For others, the name is of the deity they worship or their guru. They act as a shield. So the encounters on the subtler planes in dreams, they can be pleasant, they can be unpleasant. These are different types of dreams. To interpret the dreams, one thumb rule is not enough. There are books which will tell you, if you see this, it is this, if you see this, it is this. Not necessarily. It depends upon the individual background. Psychologists like Jung, Freud, they have applied their minds to a study of dreams. But unfortunately, the dreams that they have analyzed, the category of dreams, the class of dreams, is of a very low order, always connected with what they call desire, libido. But that is only at the lowest level. There are, just as the subconscious is there is the superconscious, there is this intraconscious, so many levels of consciousness. So we can't generalize. And a disproportionate attention has been given to desire-produced dreams in the Western psychology. For those who are interested in dreams, who would like to know what dreams indicate, what the dream indicates or does not indicate. Both Mother and Sri Aurobindo recommend a discipline, that is, to be conscious of your sleep. When you are conscious, you are aware. Particularly in the morning when you wake up, you are asked not to wake up abruptly. Don't throw up your blanket and jump outside the bed. Don't make even an abrupt movement. Just stay put where you are, in the same position where you find yourself. And slowly try to remember, what were you about? What was happening? After a while, a few seconds, something, one last scene may vaguely appear. Mother says, take it as a tale and go backwards, go backwards. Gradually, once you get the feel, it will open up. And the last dream will reveal itself, that dream, previous dream. So she says it is a very interesting exercise for those who want to do it, who have the time to do it, and who have the patience. So no abrupt movement. Make the sleep conscious. We are apt to think that night is a waste. It is a waste of time, and it is only the body needs relaxation, recoupment. But it is not so. If the sleep is made conscious, if the night is made conscious, it can be made more yogically productive than the daytime. Daytime, you've got so many things on your hands. You can't help them. But night is your own. You are alone. Alone with your maker or with your own self, and by observation, by application, you can forge your future. You can create a movement which will spread out during the next day. It is possible, says Sri Aurobindo, to catch something of the higher moment if you are conscious in sleep, and let it unroll itself during the daytime. So, dreams have a meaning. Nobody can do without dreams unless one develops the art of going into the superconscious where there is no dream. Even there, Sri Aurobindo and Mother do not approve of being lost in the superconscious. They insist that for an integral yoga, you must build a passage so that when you come out, whether it is in meditation, concentration, or sleep, you remember. And the gains of that period are communicated to the waking life. This so much about dreams and sleep.